Welcome to the Nick and Jimmy Show. On today's episode, we have Sebastien Sperano. Sebastien, welcome on the show. Talk to us. Many individuals, including ourselves, want to know your story. What do you do now, and what's your story?
Awesome. Well, thank you for allowing me to share it.
You're welcome.
What I do typically is real estate. What we're trying to do as a team, and I think as people who have influence in the real estate industry, is to be more than transactional. We had talked about it before. It's to be relational. It's to build bridges between people's dreams and the realization of their dreams, not just for the clients, but for our team, building something that has a bit of a legacy and having fun doing it, you know, through the broker's desk, something similar to what you guys are doing, the conferences, and the day-to-day operations. So, I mean, really, it's a combination of all those things.
Great. And why real estate? And how long have you been involved in real estate?
I've been in real estate for 3 weeks now, and it's been really, really great. It's been 15 years, believe it or not.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But it wasn't my first choice. And for a lot of people out there, sometimes, you know, you take a path that might lead you to something, and if that's not where you think you're going, well, it might open a door to something else. So I graduated school and I went to study in the arts. I wanted to become an artist. And I moved to Italy, and I lived there for a little while and learned Italian properly, and came back and realized I wasn't going to make a living, you know, doing paintings and stuff. And my father, my mother, my grandfather were in real estate, so they're like, you know, why don't you try it? And the moment that I tried it and I applied myself to it, I fell in love. I fell in love with the industry. And from that moment on, when I started working at Remax, that's where I met my wife, Selak, because we spent a lot of hours, you know, like you were talking about how you started your company, being the janitor, being the guy who hires, the guy who fires. We did everything. I remember working at the office till 2, 3 in the morning. And that's where I saw my wife. She was also working till 2, 3 in the morning. So, you know, I'd say, hey, do you want a coffee? And then eventually, hey, you want a kid? And, you know, we got married. And then we built our business that way. And it came a time where I had a bit of a challenge as to where I wanted to take this business. I was working everywhere. I was working in Montreal, in the North Shore, in the South Shore. You have a house to sell? I'll sell it. It was very interesting, but it wasn't very efficient. And in 2012, under my wife's very good counsel, she's like, hey, there's a little building there. Let's buy it, and let's make our office there. So I followed her lead on that, and we bought the building, and we started developing what we call in our business a secteur ferme, a farm area, which you get to become the expert in your domain, in your area. And slowly, we started doing that and started implicating ourselves, not just with real estate, but with community activities. And we started with a Halloween thing. And then it was a fundraiser for this and a fundraiser for that. And slowly, my role started to change, and I started to have a different appreciation for the influence that we had, where we can make a difference in people's lives. And slowly but surely, I became a very good transactional person to a very good relational person, to building bridges, to being more than just the guy who was going to sell you a house.
Exactly.
And, you know, skip down. So we developed that, and in 2014, 4 years ago, the elections, I don't know if you guys remember, it was the provincial elections, and I said, you know, I always had this dream of doing a marketing campaign that would be, you know, phenomenal, like our friend Trump would say. And so during the elections, we came out with a publicity campaign called Vote for Change. Vote for Change of Address. So I planted real estate signs like voting signs across all the place of Auteuil. We had 175 signs set up overnight, billboards everywhere, and I did a campaign. And people would follow me, and I'd shake hands and kiss babies, and and that's how we started, building the thing. And we just came into the territory, and within 3 years, we've positioned ourselves as the #1 brokers in Auteuil for Remax.
Bravo.
Grazie. or Efkaristo.
Parakalo.
And we did it. I had two really big competitors, and both competitors, and for the guys watching in real estate now, or in any business, there's always a way. Both my competitors had really deep pockets. I mean, they've been, established for a long time, lots of money, and there's no way that I was going to be able to beat them on a publicity level. Out publicize them, ain't going to happen. So we started doing things that they couldn't do. So what do you have when you start in business? You don't have money, but you have
Work ethic, drive.
and time.
Time.
Work ethic, drive, and time. I had a lot of time. So we started doing all these things, the implication, the fundraisers. And by doing that, we positioned ourselves so close to the community that we became the reference. Because at the end of the day, what we do is not just sell houses, we change people's lives. So when people go through divorces, they call us. When people have a baby, they call us. When people, it's the upgrade or it's the downsizing. The kids are gone, they've lived in the house for 25 years, there's an emotional attachment, but they know that it's time to move on. And we become so close with our people. So that's what it is that I do. That's what it is that I do with my team. And we really work on that basis, on a relational basis.
Awesome, bro.
And I guess that's it. So fast forward, I did a lot of coaching, and I tried to, learn from the school of life through the people that had done it before me, who had done it better than me. And one of the gentlemen that that I looked up to was Georges Bardège. I did one of his courses, and he was talking about vlogging, video blogging.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So I started doing video blogs with my old iPhone called the Broker's Desk, and I wanted to do it for 21 days. And since that time, the momentum was so great, and I had so many good comments, and people say, "Hey, it's inspiring." And
Was that one live a day for 21 days?
one live a day for that's it's the kind of work that takes to do it.
Yeah.
So I did 21 days, but then I realized, okay, I'm only going to do it Monday to Friday, 5 days, and then take a break. But we did the 21 days, and we incorporated a whole bunch of stuff. And one of the things that I found myself talking about, a bit like now, was everything except for real estate. It wasn't one of those shows where, yes, hello, my name is Sebastien, the market is up 3%, down 2%, nobody cares. I mean, you can get that information online, you can get it anywhere. We talked about people's struggles, people's successes, what it takes to, to accomplish your dream. Okay, throw in a little bit of real estate information in there, but it wasn't just a
The focus.
It wasn't the focus. It was a content show, like you guys. What's the content of the people that you're with? And this year in 2018, I decided to go all in. To take this show and to do even more, to do it consistently, because that's another thing. A lot of people start stuff, they get really good,
And they just pause or
and
stop.
they just pause.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. You got to stay consistent.
Exactly.
You got to stay true. You got to stay consistent. And the consistency
And
brings.
I should use that with us.
I'll tell you something.
Bullshit.
You're right. It does take a bit of effort, and I was
Like
there.
in anything.
Like in anything.
Of course.
Like in anything. And that's it. And it's opened so many doors, and I've had fun. And this year is going to be a tremendous year for my team, for myself.
Congrats.
Thank you. We're doing some big projects, and the conference that I put together, that in reality I put together for myself and for my team. So I was looking what was out there, and I couldn't find what I wanted. So there's two types of people in life. There's people who complain and people who do something about it. So I said, let me do something about it. And I made my own little conference for 20 people. And then that 20 people last year became 108 people. And this year we're going to be 375 people with you guys on September 20th
100%.
at Colossus Laval, and talking about real estate. We have a conference for women called InfluencElle. We have a couple of keynote speakers. Actually, there's a gentleman, Ray Courtemanche, that I absolutely want you to meet. If you want to fly like an eagle, don't with turkeys. And that's what it is. Surround yourself with winners.
Yes.
And you become,
Exactly.
inspired and empowered. And it's never a question of. I was talking with Tony and Carole before, and Thierry had posted a video, and he said, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Absolutely.
You got to get out. Always look for people who can add
I like
to
that.
you. So,
Absolutely.
I like that.
so that's pretty much in a nutshell. Is that?
You were saying before that how you were working till 2, 3 in the morning.
Yes.
For the people watching, how important is work ethic? And at the beginning, especially when you're starting your business as an entrepreneur in your journey, how important is work ethic?
I think that it's one of those things that is self-evident in the sense that the work ethic, you either have ethic or you don't. I mean, you're either a good person or you're not. I think that the fact of working till 2, 3 in the morning, I'm ready to bet that anybody who's an entrepreneur, who's worked till 2, 3 in the morning, has very rarely felt that they were working till 2, 3 in the morning. When you love what you do, when you're looking at the long game, when you're looking at the long term, it comes naturally. And it has nothing to do about being a workaholic. If you're working to avoid something, it's a different
That's
story.
different,
You know,
yeah.
there's people to help you with that. If you're doing it out of passion, I mean, some of the stuff I was doing at 2 a.m, I was cutting, this is way before some of the programs, I was cutting stuff out and trying to, paint logos and do stuff and, come up with marketing schemes. And I did it with passion, and not for one moment did I regret. I mean, I remember sleeping at the office a couple of nights.
Yes.
And now
That's commitment.
it's commitment. I guess you become more efficient in time. You surround yourself with better people, so you don't have to do some of these crazy things. But I'll tell you something, every year there's at least 10 days where I will work till 3 a.m, where I'm going to spend all night, where I'm going to go somewhere completely crazy, because this is what drives me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the difference between being interested and being committed.
Yeah.
Committed, you're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's not if, it's,
Yeah. Thanks
how
for sharing,
and when.
and we applaud you, man.
Well, thank you, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Looking forward to doing more things with you guys, and I applaud you because, like I said at the beginning, people look sometimes at when you do something that's out of the box, people, they're afraid, they don't know, they don't understand, and they're quick to try to bring you to their level. You don't listen to that. And for anybody who's trying to do something that's outside the box, follow your gut, follow your heart, and that's the only way.
I love it, yes. And talking about people pulling you down, early stages of your career, did you have, I don't know if you heard the analogy before, the crabs in the bucket? People trying to pull you down. Did you have any of those?
I have to say no. I was very, very fortunate. I mean, there's competitors and stuff, and I never felt that was a pull down. I've been surrounded by amazing people. My parents, my friends, my parents' friends in the business, my wife, who's given me so much latitude to explore so many different venues and options, and my friends, my true friends, who've seen what I've done from the beginning and have always applauded and encouraged me. So if there was somebody trying to pull me down, I guess I was too busy chasing what it is that I chase to even feel it.
Awesome. I like it.
We were talking before, you have mentors.
Yes.
How important is mentorship with success?
It's, and I guess maybe this could be a good way to wrap up our thing. It's one of the stories that's very important to me that I want to share with you guys and some of our listeners. I think mentors are the key to any successful enterprise, any successful business, for many different reasons. And I've found mentors, not just in real estate. I have mentors that are outside the business. I have people who give me a different point of view, a different perspective. And there was one gentleman called Michel Bolduc. He was a client. I had his house for sale, and it was a very difficult house to sell. It was a bit weird. It was a bit, weirdly positioned. And so it took about a year to sell it. Now, in that process, I became very close with him, and he was a retired guy. He was a president of a company, and he's a very wise man. And we became friends, and he became a mentor in business. So much to the point that I would show up to his house. I wouldn't even knock. I'd walk in, make myself a coffee. Back then, we would smoke cigarettes, sit down, have a cigarette, and I'd share these ideas, and he would always let me find the answer from within, but guide me as to where I can and how I can find it. And when I graduated from my broker's course, the cours agréé to become an owner of an office, he had given me a present, which was the Blue Nose, on the 10 cent?
Okay.
The ship, as a shipbuilding thing. And he gave it to me, and I was, okay, well, thank you, very happy, but, I wasn't so much into shipbuilding, so I put it aside and forgot about it for a couple of years. Michel passed away, and because he was sick, and it was the first time that I felt that I actually lost a friend, not an old family, somebody that I'd really connected to. And, I took it hard, but, it's life. 2012, we were talking about that. I bought a building in Chicago. I'm building my house with my wife. We bought the office. We took on so many things. And at that point, I felt that I had probably, maybe taken on more than I can chew, bit off more than I can chew. And I'm like, man, I wish I could speak to Michel. I wish he could, be there to give me the advice. Because even if you have friends and family, that exterior, that mentor from the outside. So it gave me the idea. I grabbed the box and I started building it with my son, Gabriel. And as I'm building the box, I find this little note. It's been there for years. I haven't seen it. And on the note, it said this: Captain Sperano, congratulations for your diploma. He used to call me the captain. And he said this: when there's no wind, row. And that's exactly what I needed to hear at that time. In life, in business, especially when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to hit a wall. It's not if, it's when. When you hit that wall, you have two choices. You can look at it and say, well, I'm going to stop here, or you keep going. When there's no wind, row. And that's been something that I've applied to my life, that we've applied, Selak and I, and to the team and just overcome the challenges. And that has cemented for me the importance of mentors. So I make it a point, and I guess I can say this, you know, the teacher will show up when the student is ready.
Yes.
If you open yourself to it, if you open to, you know, what people have to offer you, bring value, but take value, there's so many mentors out there, from the guy on the corner of the street to the CEO of the company to the janitor. Everybody can give you something, and that's my philosophy.
Beautiful.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And let's talk about Vision Talk,
Yes.
right? So your firm is called Sperano Group.
Yes, well, it's Team Sperano. We are with Remax. I'm just going to take a little sip of water. We are with Remax, and we are mostly a real estate company. We do residential, but we do touch commercial, definitely investment properties. And
How many agents you have right now?
right now we're 10 people, all in all.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats. And where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years? Not only with the group Sperano, but the broker's desk.
Broker's desk is something that I'm having fun with, I'm exploring, and the possibilities are endless. So I'm not putting a cap or a limit to that. And where I'm going to be in the next 5 years, if you want to find out, September 20th, come to Colossus and you're going to know. We're going to be launching some, you know, very, very important quantum leap steps for us, which are going to position me and myself and my team on a different, on a similar path, but with a different momentum. I guess the short answer is I see myself having fun the way I'm doing now. Yeah.
Great answer.
Do you have any goals that are bigger than yourself?
Beautiful. And I love these questions because I have answers that are authentic. They come from inside,
That's
and
what
I've
we
been
love.
thinking about them every day. There's 4 stages in life, right? There's survival when you start out, especially in business. You struggle and and then there's a bit of stability. You finally get the hang of it. After a while, you become successful. And unfortunately, that's where people stop, where a lot of people stop.
Comfort.
You know, the nice watch, the nice car, the vacation, their success. I was there at a point, and I took a step back and I took a different path, and I went back to needing to survive and to stabilize for the ultimate goal, which is significance. Well, my success is going to become not just my success, but my team's success, the success of the community, of the people around me, of making a difference in people's lives, of leaving a legacy, an héritage. That's, for me, a bigger purpose, a bigger goal. And it's written on my vision board, it's written in my calendar, it's written in my agenda, it's written everywhere, and I remind myself every day.
So once
Guys,
again, thank you for your time.
Thank
Really
you so
appreciate
much. It's been awesome to be
Thank you
here.
very much.
Busy schedule.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
So if you like this content and want more content, don't forget to follow us on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, The Nick and Jimmy Show.